how everyone's suddenly obsessed with AGI? Ben Goertzel coined the term before it was a buzzword, before it was a boardroom panic, before Elon had an opinion about it. He's written 25 books, founded SingularityNet, the world's first decentralized AI network. And right now, he's running the largest AGI project on the planet outside of big tech. Not for profit, for all of us.
So I've given a bunch of talks on AGI over the last years and decades, but I have to say this kind of community is really among my favorite to talk to, because I mean everyone gets already like why AGI should be open and decentralized for the good of everyone. Like we don't have to argue that point, so I can get into some of the more interesting stuff, right? And I've been thinking about this stuff, probably like many others in this room, for a long time before it became popular, right? Like, and I think first was seeing a robot in the original Star Trek in like 1970 or something, right? But it was interesting. And then in a few years after that, 73 or 74, I read a book called The Prometheus Project by a Princeton physicist named Gerald Feinberg. And what he said is, in the next few decades, we're going to get machines that can think smarter than people. We're going to be able to build machines so small we can't see them. And we're going to prolong human life indefinitely. And the challenge will be, do we use this for consciousness expansion or for mindless idiotic consumerism? And who makes the choice? These ideas were out there already, right? Both the potential that technology can lead to, the potential for it to be used for good or less good, and the value of participatory democratic decision making about the outcome. But now obviously all this is big time and getting real, and national leaders have heard about all this stuff, and there's tremendous amounts of money being orchestrated by people like Elon Musk, Sam Altman, or Xi Jinping for that matter, like people who take these ideas seriously, right? So while the core notions are not new, and even the core tech ideas are not that new, I mean the real stuff that's happening now is new, which is what is bringing everything to a head, right? And yeah, 2005, I published an edited volume of academic papers on AI design called Artificial General Intelligence, and started organizing an AGI conference series each year. But that put the name AGI out on the map. I later found out a guy named Mark Guberud had used the term in an essay on nanotech in '97. So I wasn't actually the first one to use the term, but I put it out there in a book that a few people read, and in a conference that people went to. And in that same year, 2005, Ray Kurzweil published his book, The Singularity is Near. The singularity came and you missed it while you were sleeping. But in The Singularity is Near, Ray Kurzweil proposed that 2029 will be the year that we had a breakthrough to human level AGI. And he then said 2045 for essentially super intelligence, right? Like a laptop being as smart as the whole human species, as he put it. It's interesting. So now 2029, I think, looks like a foresighted guess as to when human level AGI will come about. I mean, Elon and Dario think it may come a little sooner. Folks say it'll come a little later, but it's more of a plausible idea to more people than 2005. But the gap between human level AGI 2029 and superintelligence in 2045, I think now seems way too long to quite a lot of observers, right? Because if you look now at even what LLMs can do in terms of proving math theorems and helping do science, it's and helping code, right? Like it seems like if you really get a human level AGI that's mind melded with Claude code and whatnot, that thing is going to be able to upgrade its own software infrastructure. It's going to be able to design new hardware for itself. Like, it's hard to see why it would take 16 years from human level AGI on to superintelligence, unless there's World War III or the superintelligence. But the AGI wants to slow down its own development, right? So I think we're now at a very interesting point where the near-term advent of AGI seems like a plausible thing to very many people, and it's a question of how do we do it and how do we do it right. Let me try to briefly race through how I think AGI can be created in a beneficial, decentralized, and open way. And I mean, I do think it's not just rhetoric. I think this actually is the most important thing in the history of our species, right? I mean, we've had very dangerous things before, like nuclear weapons, and we've certainly had life-changing inventions like print media and the internet and the wheel and the internal combustion engine. But I mean, these have all been invented by human brains, right? And getting something that's smarter than human brains, I mean, this, and more practically capable than humans, like this is it, right? Like this is the biggest thing in our history. And right now is the moment when we can make a critical impact here, right? Because I mean, the technology is getting there. Regulatory environment is chaotic and confused. And we're at a time where there may be a significant first mover advantage. Like, if, for those of us who are into open and decentralized stuff, if the first AGI popped up in an open and decentralized way, it's not that there won't be closed AGIs copying it, but it took Google 3 years to catch up with OpenAI on LLMs, even though Google invented transformers, right? So first mover advantage is a thing. Now, I think there should be many, many different approaches to AGI pursued, and there may be many that succeed. There may be many kinds of artificial minds, just like there can be many kinds of biological minds. So, I mean, we're within my AI research team at SingularityNet, our decentralized AI platform project. I mean, we're working on the Hyperon neural symbolic evolutionary knowledge metagraph approach. We also have a team working on predictive and causal coding as decentralized approaches, right? And that brings me to this next point: is decentralized infrastructure is another important part of the whole thing, right? I mean, you totally want AI methods that are AGI worthy, but you want AGI worthy methods that are amenable to decentralized learning also. And then you need a whole bunch of high class plumbing to allow the decentralized learning to work. And Kwaai has some pieces of this which are very nice. I think in SingularityNet and ASI Alliance, we have some other pieces of this that are nice. And I think these can be combined together in various interesting ways. And seeing all this horrible mess in Iran that our great leader Trump is orchestrating now, I mean, it made me reflect on how energy wars and AGI wars intersect. And I won't divert the next 5 minutes of the talk onto this, but I would say that centralizing AGI in a few huge hyperscaler server farms pushes to centralize energy in a few locations, which makes geopolitics even nastier than it would be otherwise. And if AI were decentralized, its use of energy could be decentralized, which makes less of a nasty synergy between AGI wars and energy wars, right? So there's a lot of reasons why decentralized infrastructure is important. And I think one thing I'm hoping to see this year is to get a positive flywheel with our Hyperon proto-AGI stuff, where we're using our Hyperon tools to help develop the next generation of Hyperon tools. Because we do see that with LLMs now, right? Like, we're all using LLMs to help code, and you can use LLMs to help code better LLMs. So if you have something smarter than LLMs, and you can use that to help improve the thing to make it even smarter than LLMs, right? I mean, then that's a sort of flywheel that could make AGI come in 2027 or whatever, right?